Hello and welcome to the Crochet Business School podcast. I'm Kelly Thomas, the Crochet Profit Queen, and I'm going to show you how you can make a living from your crochet while avoiding the burnout and being able to make what you want and when you want. Have you signed up to the Crochet Business School newsletter yet? Don't forget to do that now at crochetbusinessschool.com/subscribe and get tips and free resources straight to your inbox. Social media is not enough. Now, social media is a fantastic tool for growing your business. It really is. It means you can get in front of a lot of people very quickly. You can spread the word about your crochet, about what you have to offer to a lot of different people across the world extraordinarily fast. That is very possible with social media. It is the fastest way to get the word out. But if you are relying on social media alone to build your crochet business, you're in for a bit of a shock because it's not enough. Social media is amazing, but it's just not enough, not for the long haul. It's a great way to connect with your audience. It's a great way to get new eyes on your business. But if social media is all you have, one, you don't have authority. Two, you cannot be found on Google and search engines. Three, it is difficult for people to buy from you on there. And these three factors are going to hit you hard at some point. At first, you won't feel it because you're growing your audience, you're getting engagement, that number of followers is growing and it feels great. But there comes a point where you kind of stagnate and it's not going much further. Those follower numbers might be increasing, but your profits are plateaued. They're not growing anymore, and they might even drop. Followers on social media does not equal profit, and it will start to hurt you. So, I think the biggest point for me on this is on social media alone, you don't have authority. You're seen as less trustworthy if you only have social media. And people begin to wonder, are you real? Are your products up to standard? What's the deal? Because there comes a point where if you have a certain number of followers and you're talking about all this, they'll be asking, well, why don't you have a website? Why don't you have an Etsy store? Why don't you have somewhere else for us to go to find out about you? And having a website gives you authority because we can go and check you out. Professional businesses have websites. And this came to mind to me recently because I was looking for a new kennel for my dogs when I go away for a couple of days. And locally, I have 4 options. 3 of them had websites, 1 didn't. And the one that didn't made me pause for thought. Because how do I know they're legit? If they only have a Facebook page, how do I know that they're a proper business and that they're trustworthy? And the answer is, well, the real answer is it shouldn't matter. But subconsciously, my thought is, well, the others do. Why don't they? I can go on Google and visit the websites of the other places. I can see all the photos. I can see all their services listed really easily. But for this other one that didn't have a website, I can't do that. And in this day and age, it feels like there's something missing in that. There's something not quite right with that. And it did affect the fact that I actually didn't end up calling them because they're not doing what other businesses do. And that impacts your authority. It gives you pause for thought. It makes you think twice. it gives you enough doubt that you might walk away. And it's the same for every business. If you're going to be spending a lot of money on something with a business, you want to feel that they are the authority and that they are trustworthy. And only having social media does impact that. Now, you don't actually have to have just a website, your own website. Having an Etsy shop is enough. Having a PayHip shop is enough. Having a Shopify store is enough. But you need something that is not on social media in order to have that trustworthy factor, because your crochet is not cheap. Your patterns, well, you can't sell patterns on social media for a start. You can't run a blog on social media. You can't sell courses on social media. You can only use social media to direct people to where you're going, to where you're selling. If you're selling what you make, your crochet should not be cheap. So you need somewhere else to send them, to have that authority so that they trust that the money they are spending is money well spent. And having somewhere other than social media gives you that authority, it gives you that trust. The other thing about not having social media is, the thing about only having social media is that if you don't have a newsletter, if you're not building that, you don't have an insurance policy. It is far too easy for your social media to get shut down, whether that's because you accidentally broke a rule, whether it's because somebody hacked your account, whether it be that it just randomly disappears, and these things can happen. If you only have social media, you have no other way of people finding you. Your customers will not know how to find you again. And often we don't realize a business that we are following has disappeared from our feed. We only realize they've been gone when they return. And we go, oh, we've not heard from them in a while. And so the people who have been following you before, if you lose your social media account, they're not going to go looking for you. Which means you have to build your business all over again from scratch. That's a hell of a risk. And to be honest, not worth it. Social media is such a fickle beast, and you don't own your account. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever it is, they are allowing you to use a space that they have provided for you, but you don't own it. They can take it away at any time. So only being on social media is a big risk because you could lose it all tomorrow. And talking about social media being a fickle beast, if you put a post out, only a small percentage of your following is going to see it. You have to work this system to be able to get more of your followers to see your posts. You have to play by the rules. Social media is exactly what it says on the tin. You have to be social. So the only way to boost your post without paying, and ads are a whole different thing, but the only way to do it without paying is to go and play the game and get out there and be social. Go and comment in other people's groups. Go and comment on other people's pages. Share other people's content. Engage with all the comments on your own pages. And that's the only way to boost your posts organically. The problem with that is it takes absolutely hours to do. You could spend hours on social media and still not get the majority of your followers to see your post. Which means if you have something to say to them, something that you feel is important, you've got to keep repeating yourself over and over for days, weeks on end, before a large portion of your followers see your message. That's a lot of work. If you've got a newsletter list, you just have to send a few emails. You don't have to do all this engagement. You don't have to go into other people's groups. You don't have to put comments everywhere. You don't have to keep posting and posting and posting. A newsletter does it quickly and easily. And then there's the fact that people can't find your content easily if they look for it. They might have to scroll back through loads and loads of your posts to be able to see, you know, things that you've been posting out before, what your crochet content is, your about information. Nobody wants to do that. They want to go to a web page and look at your About Me section and just find out all about you and what you offer. They want to be able to click somewhere where you've got all your products on display and they can browse through and see what you have on offer. And then you don't even get found on Google. So many people search Google for what they want. They're not going to search Facebook. They're not going to search Instagram. They're going to Google and they're typing in what they want there. So if they're looking for a horse-themed shawl for a wedding, they're going to Google. They're not going to search through randomly on their Facebook feed to find something like that. They're searching on Google. And social media, unless you know the name of the business, your social media will not get found on Google. You're missing a ton of potential sales there by not being somewhere where you can be found on Google or other search engines being included, but Google is the biggest one. And so that's why you need to have somewhere other than social media. If you're selling crochet patterns, get on Ravelry and Payhip and Etsy. If you have a blog, get a website or get on Payhip. If you are selling what you make, get on Etsy, get on Shopify or any other web store. But have somewhere other than social media. Because although it is fantastic for getting started and growing an audience quickly, you're going to find it difficult in the long term and it's incredibly risky to just rely on social media and have nothing else. You need another platform. Grow quickly on social media, yes, but then have a plan as to what comes next to not only keep your profits coming in, not only to increase your authority, not only so that you can be trustworthy, but so that you can get found on Google and so that your business has a safety net for if you lose your social media. So I hope you found this useful. And as always, if you have any questions, please do come to our Facebook community. The link is in the show notes. Thank you for listening in, and I shall see you next time for the next episode. Bye for now.